Welcome back to another episode of Private Parts with me, Liv Bentley.
And me, Tom Lucy. This is the podcast where nothing is off limits.
Each week, we will read the most intimate and sordid details of our lives from our diaries.
Did you just say that you're not hungover? And as if that's like a...
No, because I got into the Sunday session, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, of course.
But no, I did my serial killer walk this morning, 5:30.
You're back on the walks.
Back on the walks.
Well, how come you took a break from the walks?
Because I was with Stephen.
Oh.
So
he's joined the walks?
He will be joining the walks this week, actually.
Unbelievable.
But no, you know when you're like...
What an honour for Stephen.
To come on my walks.
Yeah.
Yeah, to protect me from any...
Have we given enough information to the listeners to guess where these walks might be taking place?
Yes, you have. You told everyone. And when I was doing them alone, it got dodgy and, well, actually.
Because maybe it could be one of those, like the Hollywood sort of tours where they go around the stars' houses.
I don't think anyone could give less of a
do
fuck
like
about where I walk on a Monday
tour
morning.
of private parts locations.
Your gigs would be on there.
My gigs, yeah. I think they'd mainly just be around the Parsons Green area, wouldn't they? They'd
Yeah.
be sort of places where you've walked, you've been arrested. I've been line biking around.
Have you ever been arrested? No.
Have I ever been arrested? No. I don't know. I was going to say I don't think so. No, I haven't.
No.
How have you been?
I've been all right, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I nearly died last week, though, Tom, actually. I went to go and have a treatment. This was bizarre. I went to go and have a treatment, right, in South
It's not
Kent.
one of those fish sperm ones again, is it?
No, although I'd like to give a shout out to the doctor who did that because my skin's looking actually...
What was it again? Was it trout sperm?
It was salmon sperm.
Salmon sperm.
And
that
it's
was
called polynuc... Can't remember. I was having a treatment done in South Kent. Anyway, as I was lying there, I suddenly smelled something rather odd. And I thought, the fuck is that? Builders upstairs had hit a pipe and then the gas was coming through the aircon into this room.
What?
I don't know what it was. And my eyes started watering. I was sweating. I started getting lightheaded. It was awful. So I got rushed out.
What? And the girl giving the treatment hadn't realised?
No, they looked at me and said, "Can you smell that?" And I said, "Yeah." Anyway, it was a guy, and he said, "Can you smell that?" And I said, "Yes."
He said, "Can you smell that?"
And I said, "Thank God you can as well." So then we legged it
Isn't
out.
that when you have a stroke, you start... No, it's burnt toast, isn't it?
Yeah, burnt toast.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that. It was
Why is that? Why is that? That you
don't
smell
know.
toast when you're having a stroke?
You're asking someone as if I would know. I've never had a stroke.
What's the little thing they teach you? Face, face, arm, smell. I don't know what the T stands for. No, there is. There was an advert. Fast. It's meant to be your face, your arm, you smell, and then the T stands for something.
Twitching? Your eyes?
Time. Is it time? I've been told, apparently, that the stroke fast, which is the way they teach you to know if someone's having a stroke or not, it's not smell, it's speech. So it's face, arm, speech. And what's T? Time. Time to call an ambulance. Is that what it is? Act quickly. But it's face, so you face, arm, speech. I don't know why it was smell. So is the smelling burnt toast thing not a thing? I was always told that was what happened.
I've heard that toast one as well. I don't know where that...
Face, arm, speech, time.
Why is it toast? Like, actually, in all seriousness.
I've been in situations where you've hit 3 of those things. Sorry.
Well, face has gone...
Arm's gone weird, speech is gone.
It's called paralytic. You are such a load of shit, Tom. You were fast, actually, when you got trapped in that bathroom.
Oh my God, yeah. God, I really was having a panic attack.
Yeah, that's slightly different to a stroke.
Yeah. There you go. Face, arm, speech, time.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to know.
It is.
Well, you taught about sort of how to give CPR and the recovery. I remember, my God, the recovery position was a huge thing at school.
Yeah, you've got to lie on your...
side. That was a huge thing at school to learn the recovery position. I remember doing CPR on a sort of mannequin.
I thought you were about to say on someone, and I was like, that's terrifying.
No, I remember we had a lesson.
Isn't it Staying Alive? You know that song, Staying Alive? That's the... Is that... No, but you know the song.
Is that a joke, or is that really what it is,
No,
Staying Alive?
The song is that you go to that.
And is it just a coincidence that the song's called Staying Alive?
Well, I think it's to remind you.
Or is that why the Bee Gees wrote it?
That's exactly why.
The Bee Gees wrote it as a health warning.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I love the way you laugh as if I've made that up.
What, that it's Staying Alive?
Yeah.
No, I believe you. I just thought it's odd that the song's called Staying Alive.
I think it's rather fitting.
Can't say fit. Anyway, you weren't having a stroke. It's fine.
No, I wasn't having a
stroke. I
stroke.
like to interweave genuine medical advice
and I wasn't pregnant, yeah?
Into private parts. Was that the most dramatic thing that happened last week? I imagine it probably was.
Yeah, that was up there, to be honest. Yeah, that was.
We slightly covered it last week, but it is the second to last day of National Breastfeeding Month, which I'm sure you've been following very closely.
I have. Gripped.
Are Jomo doing anything for Breastfeeding Month?
We're still on Orgasm Month, if I'm honest.
Are you? That's an all year round thing for you,
It's becoming a yearly thing, yeah.
What does National Breastfeeding Month mean? Does that mean that you're allowed to do it more freely than you were before? You're allowed to
in my head,
You're allowed to breastfeed children that aren't yours?
Sorry.
Is that what it means?
My brain went elsewhere there for a second.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I have no idea what that means. I know what breastfeeding is, but does it publicly anyway, don't they?
Yeah, it does happen publicly, doesn't it? And
what are your thoughts on that? As in, like,
public breastfeeding?
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I'm an advocate for it.
You're just a
I'm a famous pro breastfeeding supporter. I've led some of London's biggest pro breastfeeding campaigns. We marched through Parliament last year.
Tits out.
Yeah. No, I'm a big advocate for it. Your thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, you've got to feed it. It's a child. Of course you've got to feed it.
Is anybody anti it? It seems like an intense thing to be anti.
People don't like it.
Really?
Yeah, but I think that's because they're viewing it in the wrong way. If you've got a screaming child who needs milk, then get him out.
I had a friend once who his neighbour brought round I think it was like some sort of sponge cake.
No, I don't know. I can already hear where this is going.
Yeah, it was like a sponge cake, and this neighbour brought it round and was like, "Oh, I made a cake, and do you want it?" And then found out that it was made with her breast milk. Do you think that's acceptable?
No, that is highly unacceptable.
Seems like the kind of thing that might happen on your street, to be honest.
How old were you breastfed until? You started with sort of
19, 20. I was on the teat for a while. I think I came off teat when I joined university because it became a logistical problem. I would just take bottles to uni.
But no, you're talking about the breast milk sponge cake. I actually went round to a friend's house who just had a baby, and she offered me a sweet, and I ate it, and it was her placenta.
What?
Yeah.
Explain what that means.
Once you've had a child, you can go and get your placenta turned into gummies. Harry looks horrified.
What?
Anyway, she offered me one, and I thought it was a Haribo. So I...
What? Wait, hang on. I have so many questions. Why would you get your placenta made into gummies?
Because apparently it's really good for you. Not for your friends. It's good for the one who's given birth, and then you eat the whatever.
So why was she handing it out to her friends?
I think she thought it was amusing. And it was when I nearly choked it back up again.
So what, you ate it and then she told you?
I ate it, yeah.
That's horrific.
I then went to eat another one. Not shaking. I didn't.
That's really horrific.
But that's a thing that people do.
Is it?
Yeah, you get your placenta to people. You've heard this. I'm not making that up. Because it's
the girls in the room are all nodding. Like
it's got something in it that's really good for you. I don't know what that is, but it tasted like a Haribo, to be honest. It didn't taste...
Haribo placenta is a new range they're bringing out.
For National Breast...
Candy Kitten placenta.
A mixed breast milk and placenta. Okay, gross. Let's move on. It's too early
In association with National Breastfeeding Month, we are bringing out...
placenta.
Can we talk about you and me having a bit of an issue with London at the moment? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, we can. I just feel like I think it's the people, if I'm totally honest. I just think everyone's a bit...
You're falling out of love with London.
Yeah.
Explain why.
The people. Everyone just looks livid all the time. I walk down the street and I smile at people, like when I'm doing my morning walk, the other few cretins who are awake at that time, I smile.
All the other serial killers.
All the other killers
hiding evidence.
There's
in the
a sweet man who walks his dog, and I say good morning to him every day. But like, if I walk down the street here if someone said hello to me, I would assume they're going to mug me.
Well, I didn't realise that where we record this is such a crime hotspot, because we were told before this that apparently this road is famous for people stealing phones on.
But it's everywhere. Yeah, here's bad, but if you think about it, London... It's getting worse. It's not. Do you enjoy it here?
Do I enjoy it here? I know what you mean. I think there is a sort of there's like an anxiety to London that I find quite difficult.
Just no one seems very happy.
No, Do you think that's got worse?
Yes.
Or has it always been like that? And
No, I think
we've
it's
only
got
just
worse.
noticed it.
I think it's got worse. I think money's an issue all round. Like, no one that has any money. And it's just, I don't know. I think everyone sort of not lives for the weekend, but they do. Everyone just wants to, everyone's only release is going to get hammered. It's true, isn't it? Like, speak to everyone.
I don't know if that's an English thing or a London thing, because I think it's English people.
It didn't used to be that bad.
We're quite sort of nothing Monday to Friday, and then
fucking hell for leather on a Friday night.
Let's smash up a bus stop
Knowing
and get arrested on Friday. But actually, to be fair, it's now Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, what?
Thursday.
Oh, it was the new day. I think you meant today, and I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah. So what are you going to do about it? Does this mean you're going to leave?
I'm going to move out of London, yeah.
Where are you going to move to?
Wimbledon. Still in London.
Right. Okay, fine.
No, I don't.
You can't leave Parsons Green.
I'm the fucking CEO.
Yeah, you'll have to hand it over to someone else.
I know.
I think you'll still be living in Parsons Green when you're like in your early 90s. People will be like, that's Liv Bentley.
That's that old cow.
She used to be on Made in
Staring at her window.
You on your way to Arrogant House on a Zimmer frame.
Such a twat.
Outside the door at 11 a.m.
Let me in.
I quite like those people that are sort of in their like 80s, 90s who still live in central London. I always think, why at that age would you want to be living in like, Westminster? But there are people who are doing it. I quite like it. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Because I reckon the attraction when you're that age is to go and live somewhere with lots of space and where it's quiet and
but then
by the sea. Old people love the sea.
They love it.
They love a bench looking at the sea.
Oh, I love seeing old people sitting on a bench looking at the sea. I
with
think
a blanket
it's the sweetest
over them.
thing.
That's going to be you quite soon.
That will be soon. Tom, listen, I'm turning 30, not 90.
It's very exciting. You're turning 30, isn't it?
Well,
maybe 30 is a good age to like draw a line under London and move. Go somewhere else.
That's what people do tend to do. Although I actually had a lot of friends who didn't move out of London post-lockdown. It was like a thing to do. But listen, I'm not sort of wifed up, going to be popping out a couple of children in the next 2 years.
What I do find interesting is like if I leave London for a few days, or I go into the countryside or something, and then I come back, I genuinely feel my body reacting to being back in.
But it's like
it's not even a mental state. It's like a physical feeling in my.
Did you get that when you used to go back to school on a Sunday night? That's the feeling I get when I drive back to London. I haven't been down at my parents'.
Like impending doom?
Yes, a little bit. We'll make it sound really more. But
it's not good to live somewhere where that it makes you feel like that, though, is it?
No,
that must be having like a long-term effect on your health.
Your mental health.
To be living somewhere that's making you feel that anxious all the time. Because I think it's not even a city thing. I think if you go to Paris or Amsterdam or Barcelona, I think it's just calmer. I think it's London.
I do think it's the people though.
Liv, when this comes out, it will be almost the end of the Edinburgh Festival. Have you ever been to the Edinburgh Festival?
No.
Do you have any interest in going?
I mean, sure. I've been to Edinburgh once.
You've been to Edinburgh once?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I got absolutely wrecked. It was actually with Channel 4.
What was it? Some sort of documentary?
No, it was like a dinner.
A dinner?
And I got a shout out about my lube. Yeah, it was great. It was about a year ago.
You went to Edinburgh for the first time?
Yeah.
Edinburgh's great.
It was amazing. I loved it.
Edinburgh's great. I love Edinburgh. That would be a good place to move to.
Why didn't we go? Oh, what, to Edinburgh? We could all move. We could move. I say we all as if you and your girlfriend and me and my boyfriend are now sort of
go live in like
together.
A commune in Scotland. Yeah.
But no,
eating each other's placenta.
You always have to make it weird.
Sorry, you brought the placenta up. You ate it.
Breastfeeding each other. No,
I didn't. Anyway, it's almost the end of the Edinburgh Festival.
Yeah.
What we have here are the 5 jokes that won. Well, they're the top 5 apparently jokes of the Edinburgh Festival. I haven't read them, but I thought you could try and deliver them in your best comedic.
I'm not very good. Oh my God.
Go from 5 to 1, but try and deliver it as if you're on stage.
Oh, this is so much pressure.
Obviously, you'll know. Have you ever done any sort of comedy on stage?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm terrified of stages and public speaking. It's not for me.
Really? That surprises me.
Really?
Yeah, I thought you'd be quite good at it.
No, I'm too shy for that sort of crap.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Unlike you, which weirdly, actually, I think out of the two of us, it would assume that I would be more like that. Because you'll probably look slightly more reserved.
Do you think?
In these situations, yeah. Whereas actually you're the one who does get up there and crack all the jokes.
But have you ever met any other comedians?
No.
They are generally quite quiet and shy. from my experience.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Depressed.
Depressed, monotone.
Anyway, so you're going to read these jokes.
Okay.
And remember, comedy's all about timing. So try and really lean into the performance of them.
This guy's still
You're laughing. So
no,
that's
but
good.
it's just sort of stupid. I love the Olympics. My friend and I invented a new type of relay baton. Well, he came up with the idea and I ran with it.
It's good. It's good. Do you like that?
I mean, yeah.
Who wrote that?
Mark Simmons.
I know Mark Simmons. He's great.
Okay, ready? I sailed through my driving test. That's why I failed it.
So you delivered that quite well, I thought.
Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith.
Number 3.
You're really sweating, aren't you?
I am. And I'm wearing fucking lycra.
You know what?
If I had a wig on now, we'd be fucked.
I'm getting nervous because the sound of a joke being delivered to silence in a room makes me
really awkward.
Brings back all kinds of
I just
trauma.
think the pressure does it. Mm-hmm. See, that's it would just be too. What happens if you say one and no one laughs? You just go. I would just go for fun.
Well, we'll find out in a second, won't we?
Well, thank God I didn't write these.
Don't say that.
Oh, sorry. No,
these are
great.
These are the best jokes of the Fringe. Maybe we should do the worst jokes of the Fringe.
Ate horse at a restaurant once. Wasn't great. Starter was all right, but the main was dreadful.
Good. I would argue that's worse than number 5. I think that should be lower down.
Okay. I've been taking salsa lessons for months, but I just don't feel like I'm progressing. It's just 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That was by Alex Kitson.
Yeah.
And then there's salsa lessons by Alec Snook. So I don't know why I said his name like that. Okay.
Do you like the salsa one?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah?
I mean,
You understand it?
Don't be stupid.
Okay, all right, fine.
Not with our...
Can you dance salsa?
The Strictly scandal.
I would love for you to be on Strictly.
It would be more... I would rather stand there and crack jokes, if I'm totally honest, than that. Well,
You know what? They should do like a celebrities learning to do stand-up, like learning to dance. And then you've got to come and do a 5-minute routine.
But the thing is, though, with comedy, I feel like you've either got it or you don't. Is it really something you can learn? You can't learn to be funny.
But can you learn to dance? I guess you can learn to dance, can you?
Well, with this, it would take a lot. There's one more.
Okay. But this is the best one.
This is the best.
This is number 1.
This is the winner.
This is the joke of the Fringe this year. And who's this by?
This is by Mark Simmons again. Oh, he's
got 2
really
of the top
banging out the
5.
jokes. I was going to sail around the globe in the world's smallest ship, but I bottled it.
Okay, let's go. Should we just let that silence hang for a sec?
Great work, Mark.
You didn't seem to be amused by any of those. Okay, I'm going to tell you...
Can you tell me your best joke that you've ever written?
God, that's a lot of pressure. Best joke I've ever written?
Yeah. Or one that's...
See, I don't really do jokes like that, though. All of those comedians do that. Their whole act is like doing one-liners like that. But I don't really do one-liners.
What do you do?
What?
Sorry.
God, you're really making me feel tense. Well, I like longer things, stories or like, observations.
Okay,
They're not like one-liner jokks like that.
Could you tell me what you did at Fringe Festival when you were up there? Back in your heyday.
God, I feel like I'm having lunch with my mum now or something.
I just
You're making me doubt everything.
Don't be crazy.
No, I did. So I did the. I first went to the Edinburgh Festival when I was like 18, I think.
Yeah.
And did a show called The Pleasance Reserve, which is like 4 comedians doing 15 minutes each, which makes an hour. So the show's an hour.
Yeah.
And it's 4 people doing 15 minutes, and it's normally really young, new people. And audiences go and watch it because it's like, maybe these people will go on to become
famous.
Yeah, and a lot of really famous people have done that show in the past. So I think people like to go and see it because they're like, oh, maybe someone here will. But yeah, it was every day for a month at like 8 o'clock in the evening. And you basically just spend the whole day like trying to get audience members to come to watch that show.
Do you say the same thing every day?
Yeah, you do, yeah. So you sort of go a bit mad by the end of it because you do it like 30 times in a row, and by the end of it,
can you mix it up and say something different one day?
You can do what you want. No one's stopping you from doing that. But people generally tend to like have a script that they do every night.
Can you remember what you said?
I can remember. I can remember doing a joke. This was. It sounds like a weird thing to say, but ISIS was quite a big thing at the time. We all remember ISIS, right?
I think we're familiar.
They've sort of gone away recently, but at the time they were huge, right?
Yeah, there we go.
And I remember doing a joke about my mum mixing up ASOS and ISIS.
Oh my God.
And saying, I got an email the other day from ISIS, meaning ASOS.
Yeah.
And then I would say, she would go, I got an email the other, but I was 18 at the time, so this is not great, but I'm going to try and remember what it was. So she was like, I got an email the other day from ISIS. And I went, oh yeah, what did it say? And she went, apparently everything must go. Right? And then the follow-up was and she said, I'm thinking of getting your dad a vest for Christmas. It's not bad. I remember that was like one of my first jokes. And at the time, as I said, ISIS was huge. So, you say the word ISIS and everyone's,
panics.
Panics, yeah. But I remember that was a joke I used to do at the time. So yeah, I used to do like 15 minutes.
That's quite a long time.
And then you basically like spend the whole day just like trying to get audience members to come.
How do you do that?
Because there's like thousands of shows.
What, do you roll around with a little thing that says, I'm Tom Lucy, come and watch my show?
No, you get like flyers. So quite a lot of Edinburgh Festival is flyering for your show. So when you walk around Edinburgh during the festival, there are just people handing out flyers everywhere for whatever show they're doing. And then you just are like trying to get people to come and see what you're doing.
Did you rustle up quite a good crowd?
Yeah, we had a good crowd, I think. Yeah, I think it was okay.
Who else did you do? Who were the other three people?
Kay Kurd.
No idea.
Jack Carroll, who did Britain's Got Talent, and Alistair Beckett King. We were the four that did it when I did it. Yeah. It was fun. You should go. We should do a show in the Edinburgh Festival.
I think I might get heckled.
You know what we could do is we could do like a morning chat show where we're like Ruth and Eamon, not Ruth and Eamon. I was going to say Holly and Phil, not Holly and Phil either. Who can you say now?
Who can you say now?
We'll be like
Liv and Tom.
Liv and Tom, yeah.
In private parts.
Yeah, and we could interview people in the morning.
Before they go on.
Yeah, exactly.
We should do that, actually.
We should do that.
Ease them into their acts.
Do you think we could be breakfast morning hosts? Breakfast
I don't know
morning.
with my language.
Do you think we could be TV breakfast hosts?
Can you beep? You can't beep things, can you?
You actually wouldn't work in the morning,
No,
would
I'd
you?
rein it in. I'd keep it classy.
I think you'd be off the air within an hour.
Having a drink.
We'd go to an ad break and we'd come back and Alison Hammond would be there instead of you. And we just wouldn't mention that you were there.
She's been wheeled out.
I think it's something to think about.
So did you go like in consecutive years?
Yeah, I did it every year for, I think, 6 years.
And so what, did anyone like agents or anything want to approach you being like, you're great?
That's the whole point, is that like agents and producers and all the industry goes to Edinburgh for the month.
Yeah.
So the whole point of doing a show there is that people will come and...
So did you get picked up?
Yeah, I got an agent from it and you get bits of work, and that's the whole point. It's like
I gathered that much, but listen, if you could have been absolutely shite and everyone said, well, no, he's useless.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just
a couple of people did say that.
Did they? Rude.
Yeah. Well, you also get reviewed as well by newspapers and things. Okay, so let's do and this is Fringe related because we're coming to the end of Edinburgh Festival. The 2024 Fringe, here we go, this is what I said, has 3,317 shows across 262 venues. God. 3,317 shows.
It's a lot of laughs.
It's a lot. Well. But, Liv, how many performances were given out across the length of the festival?
I was just looking at the numbers, reading them backwards.
Are you having an issue with numbers as well as words?
One of those.
We'll come back in part 2 and we'll find out. Welcome back to part 2 of Did I scare you when I said that?
You startled me with that. Fucking aggressive.
Why are you turning into like an old woman?
I'm not, because I'm
You
sober.
are. You're like banging on about leaving London. You're getting scared by noises.
Listen, let me stop you there, sweet cheeks.
You're
you were
acting
the one
like
you brought up the London thing earlier.
I also want to leave London.
So actually, you old fart, get a grip.
You're acting like you've never heard of the Edinburgh Festival before.
Because, listen, when would I have partaken in a sort of comedy thing? I've been fucking about Made in Chelsea for 8 years.
Other Made in Chelsea people have been to the Edinburgh Festival.
Well, they were obviously amusing.
Francis Bull did stand up for a few years.
What? That doesn't surprise me.
I think you should. I think you give me something to do, and I think you should try stand-up.
If you put that on my... No, luckily I'm 30 on thingy, so that's not on my list.
Are you going to do a speech at your birthday?
No. And I'm also not going to do a comedy act.
No, but you could do a speech.
In front of my own family?
Yeah, why not?
They'd be like, get down your pisshead. Blow out your candles and...
That sounds like the Edinburgh Festival, that sort of language.
My house. Yeah. I think my brother would be great at that, though.
Your brother sounds like you would be.
He would, he'd be hilarious.
How many performances were at the 2024 Fringe? Have a guess.
Well...
Have a guess. 3,317 shows, 30 days of the Fringe. Yeah. How many performances do you reckon?
40,000.
40,000? It's more than that. 51,446. That's a lot, Liv. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah. So that's why everyone's out flying on the streets, because they're trying to get people to come and watch them.
We should go. It would be quite
it would be
cool
fun
atmosphere, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I actually regret not going this year.
We've got a lot of regrets this year. Glastonbury. You didn't do the Henley Regatta. Now the
You
Fringe.
didn't do the Henley Regatta. You said that like it was a big public outcry.
Because of my entire summer, that was probably the only event I went to.
Well, you didn't invite me to that.
I did.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay, well, listen, we'll go to the Edinburgh Festival next year. Maybe we'll even do a show. We'll do a morning show.
Oh, God.
Everyone will be really hungover.
Can you drink at it? Yeah.
You'd be like one of those kids' TV presenters who carries around a hip flask of whiskey.
You said this last time. It's really unacceptable.
during the outbreak.
I show up in gym gear.
Swigging whiskey. Yeah, no one's fooled by the gym gear.
No, shut up. Right.
What you do is you get home from a bender, you quickly put gym gear on and come in, it makes it look like you've been in the gym.
You're such a twat. No. Healthy lifestyle for me.
At the weekend, it was our old producer's birthday.
Yeah, which you didn't tell me you were going to.
I went to quite last minute, and to be fair, I should have texted you to say, do you want to come? But I didn't.
You texted your own Olivia.
Yeah, we went, and we had a great time. There was an ABBA tribute band.
I love ABBA.
They were actually doing, word for word, the script from ABBA Voyage. Have you been to ABBA Voyage?
Yeah.
They were doing all the chat in between the songs. Was identical to the ABBA Voyage show. It was really weird.
I quite like that ABBA Voyage thing.
It was great. It's basically just like 3,000
They were talking about
pissed women, isn't it?
Yeah, me, hammered. I remember throwing a drink over someone accidentally. I was like, sorry.
Who did you go with?
I went with my mum and all my sisters.
Everyone goes with their mum.
Does
anyone go to that not with their mum?
Oh, I don't really think it's the sort of thing you take your boyfriend to, is it?
It would be odd if we went as a group of 10 lads to the ABBA Voyage.
That would be a bit creepy, actually.
I don't think they would get let in. I think they'd be too suspicious of what was going on.
Yeah, I don't think it's that sort of crowd. But I think they were talking about doing it with Michael Jackson, as in doing one of those hologram things. Yeah, I think it was him.
So there was an ABBA tribute band at Liv's birthday, which was great. If you could have any musician sing at your birthday's coming up next week.
Yeah.
So maybe there's still time to make this happen.
Who
would you have if you could have anyone?
Oh my God. I would want
Girls Aloud?
No. Honestly, probably someone like Shania Twain.
Shania Twain?
Yeah.
At your birthday?
Yeah.
That would
sick.
Be good. Doing a full set.
Full set.
Or just singing the song everyone likes. Just do the song.
Just the song. Yeah.
Just get her to do that song 8 times.
Because it would have to be music that like everyone knows. Mm-hmm. Not saying everyone. Well, I'm assuming most people know Shania Twain, but like it wouldn't be some sort of.
You wouldn't have like an upcoming
German techno vibes. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't be that.
German techno vibes.
No,
that would be too much for your birthday.
For my poor father, yeah.
Imagine if Shania Twain came to your family house.
Unbelievable.
And how much do you think that would cost?
Oh, a fortune. Yeah. Who was it? Hang on, who was it who got married recently? That guy, and he had like
Justin Bieber was there, wasn't he?
Justin Bieber was there. Was Beyonce there? Kim Kardashian was like something. But how much do you think they were paid a fortune?
Well, Justin Bieber, didn't he do it for like $1 million or something? Was it $1 million?
In the big scheme,
more than that, maybe.
Have you ever been propositioned to speak at someone's?
I have actually performed at a wedding before.
Have you?
Yeah. So I performed at a Russian's wedding.
Right. What did you perform?
Stand up. I basically did a gig, I think it was at the Comedy Store, and the groom of this really intense Russian wedding, it was like an oligarch wedding, was at the Comedy Store with some of his friends. And afterwards I got a message through my agent saying, oh, this Russian oligarch's son was at the Comedy Store at the weekend and liked you. Will you come and he had about 10 people performing at his wedding, and he said, "Will you come and be one of them?" And
quite cool.
And it was cool. It was terrifying because
how many people were there?
Maybe like 500 people.
Oh my God.
In England, in this big country house in Oxfordshire. And people were arriving by helicopter. There were people
That's quite amazing, actually.
The car park was full of Rolls Royces and Bentleys and people helicoptering in. And they had the wedding in the afternoon, and then in the evening there was a massive marquee, and they had like loads of performers. They had like Rita Ora performed.
That's quite.
And they had
quite sick.
Big magicians had flown in from
when
Vegas.
Did you do this?
This was like 3 or 4 years ago.
I think that's quite cool.
2019 maybe, in the summer. But anyway, because it was a very Russian wedding, while I had to do like 10 minutes or something, but it was being translated into Russian while I was performing. So there was a lady stood next to me, and as I was talking, she was also holding a microphone and live translating it into Russian. It was really bizarre. I felt like I was speaking at some convention. So I would say something, she would say it in Russian.
And then they would laugh. That's hilarious.
So I had to sort of slow down because I was like, say a joke, wait for it to be in Russian,
and
then wait for the laugh, then say something else, then let her say it in Russian. Then
have you got any videos of this?
No, it was very strict no phone policy.
Oh, I think that's hilarious.
But then after I performed, they were like, well, you can just stay and enjoy the evening. So then
did you take anyone with you?
I think I took my friend Max, who's half Russian. I was like, do you want to come to this big Russian wedding with me? And then we just stayed and had a great time.
That is quite jokes.
Yeah, but it could have been awful. I mean, it could have been really.
Thank God you had the translator.
It may have genuinely been it could have been a dangerous situation to be in if it had gone. If I'd picked on the wrong person.
Yeah, Christ.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been good.
Well, you made it out alive, thank God.
So you'd have Shania Twain perform at your birthday?
Yeah, who would you?
Are you going to have anyone perform at your birthday?
What, at a family barbecue?
Is anyone going to do anything? Speeches?
Hopefully not.
No one's going to do a speech?
It's a very chilled... No.
No?
No.
No one? Okay. What I want to talk about is, because it's been quite hot this week, men walking around with their tops off.
I think it's unacceptable.
Just talk to me about, as a woman, when you think it's acceptable for a man to take his top off.
In the privacy...
Regardless of what physical condition they're in.
I think if in the privacy of your own home, if you're at a beach or if you're by a swimming pool, I don't think running down the street... You don't see women doing... I get women can run in sports bras, but you don't... I don't know. Listen, I think...
Where you live, it must be quite a high percentage of topless men walking around.
Yeah, but I know you... Well, I said this to you earlier. I think it is slightly different. If you're walking and if you're running, if it's a really hot day and you're a bloke and you're on a run and you're really sweating, that's potentially acceptable. If you're walking, just walking down the street with your top off, I think it is unacceptable. You don't see me doing that.
Do you think it changes your opinion what physical state the man is in?
I don't give a shit
If
about
they're
that.
completely ripped, would that make it better?
No, I actually no. It does for me. It doesn't make a difference.
In a way, it might make it worse.
Well, yeah, because it's a bit like, look.
If a really out of shape man is walking down the street topless, a bit of me kind of respects that. I'm like, fair enough. This guy really doesn't give a fuck.
He's obviously really hot.
That's probably in a way a bit maybe sexier than... The confidence of that might be sexier than a man looking for attention.
Yeah, I think that's what it screams. If guys are like
insecurity,
shredded and
yeah.
But no, I don't think it's
You don't think it's acceptable?
running down a busy street with your sweating and.
When is it okay for a man to take his top off?
At the beach.
In a swimming pool, at the beach.
Well, obviously
at
in
home.
a swimming pool, it'd be odd if you kept it on in a swimming
pool. What about
pool.
walking around a supermarket with your top off?
Unacceptable. Do you not
Not
think?
even in the summer, just in like November.
That's fucking weird. There is a bloke on my morning walk, and he does this yearly, who rollerblades topless.
Okay.
Why? What are your thoughts on it?
I think it's pretty unacceptable.
I just think...
Because they're the kind of men normally who, they're not just topless, they're also wearing some sort of like heart rate tracker.
And then those nose clips.
They've got those like running glasses.
Weirdly, actually, I think that's more acceptable than
They're normally
just
running...
people just walking with their sorry, not their tits out, walking with their body out.
They're normally running on the pavement as well and then getting annoyed that people are in the way. I'm like, you've chosen to run down Oxford Street. Why are you surprised that there's people in the way?
That is
if
true,
you don't
actually.
want to run and get stopped constantly by people in the way, don't run down Oxford Street. Go run on a treadmill in the gym or go to a park. It's people like sprinting down
that is
sprinting down Regent Street and then getting annoyed that people are with shopping bags.
Standing there. Yeah, no, I think
that's annoying.
Yeah, no. I think
Olivia,
I'm trying to work out what the equivalent is for women. I suppose like if I just wouldn't walk down a street in London with a bikini top on. People would think that was odd.
What about a sports bra? You see that?
Yeah, you do see that, but that is kind of different. That's not the equivalent of walking around topless, obviously. But I suppose, but then men sort of look like they're wearing those sports bras, don't they? With those sort of corset things.
I guess they do, don't they? I don't know if it's ever acceptable. Olivia and I recently did a thing called a love language quiz. Have you heard of this?
I have.
Have you done one with Sweet Stephen?
I haven't actually done it with Stephen, but I have done it
with
we
previous.
Can't call him Stephen. Okay, yeah.
Well, I'd like to call him by his name, but you seem to have an issue with...
No, we'll call him Stephen. Yeah, I have done one, actually. What are you? Let me guess yours, actually.
Okay. Go through the different options.
Okay, so it's words of affirmation, physical touch, gifts, and what's the other one, the fourth one?
There's 5, I think. Acts of service and quality time.
Quality time. Yours... Oh. Maybe acts of service.
No.
Gifts.
No, gifts is the worst one.
That is the worst. Mine's physical touch.
Yeah, I mean...
No, hang on.
Do we even need to ask that question?
More like a hug.
Right, okay.
And the rest? No, I'm joking.
Mine is words of affirmation.
Oh, actually, I can see. Actually, that makes
total sense.
total
Because I'm very needy, insecure, damaged.
Damaged. You need to be told that you're good.
I'm damaged goods.
Shut up.
You're obviously physical touch. My Olivia is acts of service.
Really? Mm-hmm. Doing sweet things.
Mm-hmm. And I'm words of affirmation.
I wonder, but when you do the test, do they say what ones work with each other, or it's just anything? So like what's most compatible?
I don't know if it works better to have, if you're both the same love language, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
I'm trying to think.
It might be a bad thing, maybe, in a way.
I haven't done it with...
It's quite... If you're listening and you're in a couple, it's quite an interesting thing to do because it makes you realise, like, what
the other person needs.
What the other person wants. Now I know that what makes Olivia happy is when I help her with things.
Yeah.
I didn't really know that before. So now that you know that, you can sort of try and be better.
Yeah,
yeah,
you can. I did it with an ex, and my thing is, if ever I'm like really sad, I just need a hug. I don't know if it's like I grew up with my mum just give me a hug when everything, but because I would just feel like the second I have a hug, I feel like everything will be fine. If I'm like crying or anything, and I had an ex who just physically couldn't hug me. I know it sounds really wrong, but when I was like crying, he just wouldn't, and it would make me angrier and angrier. So that's like mine's quite simple.
That sounds like maybe more his issue than your issue.
I think it probably was, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think that
I think
Stephen might be?
Maybe words of affirmation.
He's like me.
Yeah,
damaged.
I think he might. No, he's not fucking damaged.
We should get together, me and Stephen.
We'll go on a double date. You want to do that, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm words of affirmation. She's acts of service.
So do you notice with her if she doesn't say enough, like give you enough sort of compliments, that it...
Well, basically, she likes it when I help her with things, and I like it when she says nice things to me.
Yeah, I understand that.
So we don't have sex anymore.
You just say how good you are.
I hoover and she claps. That's basically how our relationship works.
Well, I don't want to say how mine works with our two things, physical touch and words of...
Yeah, I think we could probly put two and two together. You
can only assume, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's an interesting thing to do as a couple.
I do. I think it's a very good thing to do. 100%. Because then you understand that person.
Even if you're not in a couple, it's quite an interesting thing to... It's basically, you just take like a little quiz online and it tells you, doesn't it?
Yeah. But the gift thing is an odd one, isn't it?
I think if I was with someone and their love language was gifts, I'd be a bit... it doesn't feel like the best one to be, does it?
No. I've realised
that you need constant like material gifts. Doesn't feel like a great thing, maybe. But I don't know. Maybe people are listening and they're like...
Bought your love, though. That feels like you're, buying someone's love.
If they're like, I need to be given something expensive once a week for our whole relationship, that feels like an unsustainable dynamic.
Yeah.
Have you ever been with someone who you think might be gifts?
No, I haven't actually.
No?
I think it sounds awful to say this, but I think that's probably more of a female thing, wanting the gifts thing.
Do you think?
I don't know. How often do you know blokes who be like, can you go buy me a bunch of roses?
I would love to be given a bunch of roses.
Would you?
I always think at the Olympics, they give the flowers, when they win a medal and they get the medal and the flowers. The men don't really want the flowers, do they?
I don't know.
It's a big bouquet of flowers.
Would you like to be given flowers?
I would quite like to be given. I've never been given a bunch of flowers before.
You're just a sensitive soul over there, aren't you? You want to be told how great you are with a bunch of flowers. I bet you want a hot bath run with some candles.
I would like to do a gig and then get a standing ovation and be given a bunch of flowers at the end.
Okay.
That's what I would like.
Edinburgh next year.
That's what we'll do.
And I'll help you.
I would like to be on stage, people throwing flowers at me. Like they do at Morrissey. They just chuck flowers at him. That's what I want. Is that too much to ask in a relationship?
Well, you go home.
It's an unhealthy relationship dynamic, isn't it? When you come home from work and your partner just they clap and they throw flowers at you.
It's a little odd.
I think it is a bit odd, isn't it?
It's a bit odd.
I went to a gallery at the weekend, a modern art gallery in Somerset.
Wholesome of you.
And I don't know. Are you a big gallery goer?
I quite like it sometimes, yes. I
think it's quite a sweet idea for a date to go around a gallery.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I do actually.
I think if you did that as a first date, maybe not a first date, maybe a second or third date, it's quite a sweet idea. Afternoon on a Saturday, go walk around a gallery together.
I like that.
It's like a movie.
It's one nice thing you can do in London because there's lots of galleries.
And they're all free.
I was going to say
most of them are free, aren't they?
Stops you going to the pub, but yeah.
I don't know in an art gallery how long you're meant to look at each thing for. You know what would be quite. You know what would be quite useful is if when they on the piece of art they have like a little description of it underneath. It'd be quite useful if next to that it said how long
seconds.
you're meant to look at that for.
Like kids when they're brushing their teeth with a timer, 2 minutes here, but it's how long you want to look at it. It's not.
Of course it is, but I feel like I speed around a gallery quite quickly.
Well, maybe that means you're not fully interested in it, or you don't like reading the bit of information.
Maybe what it's meant to be is you just stand there for as long as it takes to read the information.
Potentially, yeah. Or you're.
Are you a museum? I'll pay for the audio guide, or are you? I'll go bareback.
Okay, let's rethink that puppy. When could you imagine me going in there with a group of other people, clipping in my headphones, and standing there with a bunch of tourists listening?
I can't imagine you ever doing that. Have you ever done that in your life?
No.
Walked around a gallery with the headphones on.
Did you say bareback was the other option?
Just go bareback, yeah. That's probably not the right phrase to use.
Let's not use that phrase.
Maybe between now and next week, you could go to a gallery or a museum and get the audio tour and walk around. Do it with Stephen. That's something that you do when you've been married for 30 years, isn't it?
And you've got nothing to say to each
other. And you probably also walk in separate directions. One starts at the beginning and one starts at the end and goes the other way. I like that. Let's do that.
Yeah, we're thinking of fun, wholesome things to do in London.
God, hasn't this podcast changed? Do you remember when we were talking about like going to Ibiza and Glastonbury and?
Yeah, but
now we're gonna go walk around a museum with headset and we're
ride our line bikes.
Has this got really boring?
I'm hitting 30.
It's all gonna change for you.
Listen, I started.
Are you excited about your 30s?
I am actually.
What do you think? Are you gonna make any big life changes, or are you just gonna carry on?
Well. No, I'm just.
Are you going to use it as a time to go, right, I'm going to stop doing this, or I'm going to start?
Okay, in an ideal world, I'd love to quit smoking. That would be my biggest thing.
That's a good one.
That's what I would love to finish this year, not being a smoker.
That's a really good one.
But it's very stressful and I'm in a new relationship and the last thing I want is him to see me running around like a fucking lunatic because it's, stress.
Well, because you're not smoking?
Yeah, because I've quit before, but it was a very stressful week. I cried.
Yeah, but I think you've got to push through that week.
Yeah, I think I can get past it, but I just.
Is that the longest you've gone? A week?
No, I did 3 months. I have quit before, but I quit drinking at the same time. My problem is I enjoy smoking. I know it sounds awful. I shouldn't say that, but I don't want to quit. I love smoking. I love having a coffee and a cigarette.
What about vaping?
It's even worse. I don't want to. I would rather quit altogether. I don't want to substitute it for something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to.
Have you ever tried to do like a there's a famous book that people read.
Alan Carr did it. That's how I quit the first time.
Yeah, not Alan Carr the comedian. We should say there's another Alan Carr
who actually died of lung cancer. But
did he really?
Yeah, he used to do like.
Okay, maybe don't take his advice.
No. His actually works. If anyone's trying to quit, his do work. But I live with a family of smokers, so it's fucking hard when I go home. My dad goes, "Do you want a cigarette?"
Do all of your family smoke?
Yeah.
Your mum and your dad?
No, my mum doesn't.
Your dad does?
Yeah. But my sweet mother...
That is difficult, I guess. If your family... Like, no one in my family smokes, so it's quite easy to...
See, it's hard. And, like, I grew up just around smokers.
Yeah. Do they smoke in the house?
No. My grandma did when we were younger, but...
I went to a friend of mine who you know as well. I went to stay at his family house once, and they all smoke in the house. They all sit round the dinner table. It's like being in the 1950s. They all like eat and smoke at the dinner table, and they have like an ashtray in the middle, and they're eating and putting out cigarettes. And I'm like, are we on the set of a play or something? Like, who smokes in the house while eating dinner? It's like, it felt really odd.
Yeah, see,
and the ceiling is just like covered in like yellow stains.
I can't smoke. I couldn't smoke inside. It's too much. Like, I actually couldn't.
Yeah.
It's bad enough going into those boxes at the airport where you smoke.
Oh my god, is there anything bleaker than
you don't need to even smoke.
The airport smoking area?
So yeah,
that alone is enough to make you want to not smoke.
That and driving past the Chelsea and Westminster, seeing those old people. And yeah, anyway, let's move on. But yeah, ideally, I'd love to quit smoking.
Okay, well that's a good one to try and do.
Yeah.
I like it. It's the progression.
Just growing up.
You've progressed from having cigarettes in Parsons Green to walking. Can you get a dog or something?
Oh, God.
You hate dogs,
no,
don't you?
Don't
get
dogs,
a dog.
No.
Just walk around Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Lovely. Do that. Great. Thank you for listening. We are on all socials at Private Podcast. Contact at privatepartspodcast.com if you have any questions or concerns about anything we talked about. Liv, you got anything planned this week that we're going to talk about next week? It's your birthday.
It's my 30th.
Wow. Next week, maybe we'll do like a 30th special next week, and we'll get, I don't know, like a cake or something. If we do a cake, some candles.
Bottle of rosé.
Rosé. Yeah, we'll do all of that. A big, massive box of cigarettes for you. You can just smoke through the whole...
Can I smoke through that episode?
Maybe because it's your birthday, we'll let you smoke. We'll do it outside and we'll let you smoke while we record.
Perfect.
You look so excited now. You're an addict. Thank you for listening. We will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye. Private Parts is produced by Spirit Studios.
With Olivia Scott as the producer.